Hey YouTube, what's happening? Chris here. Want to bring you all a little update on Litecoin. You guys, the upside broke out. We had one of those big whales come in, stepped in like we talked about, how it happens really fast. And that's what happened. It essentially happened in about a 1 hour time frame. And we're going to get into that, about a 1 hour to 4 hour time frame. You guys remember how we always talked about you can go to sleep, you can go to the bathroom, you turn around and Bitcoin can go up $1,000 or down $1,000. That's exactly what happened. And that's the importance of always having stop losses in place, having a plan to the upside, and having a plan to the downside. And now what Litecoin is running into right now, guys, we got a beautiful move off this 20 EMA. Remember how we've been respecting that for so long. So we are either going to get a bounce off that and move to the upside, or we're going to break down below that. Now, in terms of all the technical indicators, guys, everything was basically showing that we had more of a potential to the break of the downside. But this whale stepped in and wanted to push up even farther. So now we're challenging that 68.51 that I had as overhead resistance. You see these red lines that I had for quite a while now that I've been looking at. I was looking at these real bodies here, and then I was looking at these real bodies here. So now what we're going to have to see is if we actually close up above this red line. Now, if we close up above this red line, guys, there's a lot of room to run here, okay? We could go from this area here around that $68 all the way up to around this $89. And the reason for that is because we had such a hard fall right here. We didn't build much support, anything like that, so we just fell so hard so fast. But what I'm looking for now is to see where this candle closes the day, if we close up above or if we're going to close back down. And I also want to see if we consolidate on this lower red line at all, because a lot of times you'll have a move like this, guys, you'll have a retracement, you'll consolidate on this red line, then you'll make your next move up. Or if we even pushed higher, we would try to consolidate upon this red line up here and then wait for a further move to the upside. All right, but right now things are getting pretty overextended. I want to show you that. Just take a look at these RSIs, and remember how we talked about RSIs in this space can get extremely overextended or oversold. So what you're seeing right now, guys, is our RSI in the 1 day at 73. In the textbook, 70s oversold. All right, but we can definitely run higher. And what you saw in this area right here, we did run higher. We ended up getting up to around that 78. And what is kind of crazy though, guys, is we're at 78 on the RSI here. Our price was at $46 or $47. Now our RSI still is not as high as this, and our price is up here at around 68.48. So that is something that I'm paying attention to and keeping an eye on. And I'm also going to pay very close attention to how we treat this 20 EMA after this blast calms down a little bit. We're up 13.41%. We're at 68.41. And as you guys know, a lot of the times when you have a blast like this, so you can even see this one here, we had a nice blast and we had that cool down period. We had a blast here, we had a cool down period, blast here, cool down period, blast up here, cool down period. So always anticipate those throwbacks or retracements. They typically always happen, especially when you have a huge move. Like Bitcoin will move up 16%, say today we make it to 16, 20%. It may close a lot of times at 12% or 9%, which is huge, guys. That's an amazing gain. Just like what you're looking at right now. Don't take this for granted. 13.26%. A lot of markets don't move that much in an entire year, and that happened overnight while you were sleeping. That's the power of this market. That's why we're in this market. And that's why I said no one can be a professional in this market, because these type of moves can take place when you're sleeping, when you're eating. You could be cuddling your wife and all of a sudden Bitcoin jumps up $1,000 or goes down $1,000. So that's why we plan and we prepare, guys. And it happened on very nice volume. I'm happy to see that the volume came in here, guys. That's what we wanted to see. And we're also looking to see if we get this 100 golden cross over this 200 day, and we probably will get that now since we had this type of move. Remember, those are lagging indicators, and that lagging indicator will pick up this type of volume, and we could get that golden cross, which would be another good move to a potential move to the upside. All right, but like I said, guys, and all the things we were looking at, we were pretty overbought in a lot of areas. So it's not a shock, because like we said, we planned for the upside and the downside, but it is surprising that we did break up this hard to the upside when a lot of things were looking like maybe we needed that little cool down or that period of just calming down before we moved up and made this move. See, this was the anticipation that, you know, we've had tweezer tops here, guys. We kept moving up here. The RSI was going down. The anticipation was, my main thought was we would probably get a bounce off this 50 or down in here before we made another move up and tried to tackle this. But that wasn't the case. We kept the 20 EMA as support. We did not break through it, which we broke through on the LTC BTC, which I was in a short in. And it actually worked out well because of how high and how fast Bitcoin spiked up, I was actually able to make a profit on my short, and I actually just closed it today to be safe. I made profit. I was happy with it. I was in and out. It was a quick scalp, made my profit, and now I'm waiting to be patient to see what happens, see if we get more of a pullback or see if we're going to continue this move. But remember, guys, if you don't have a plan, your plan is to fail, and that's the key thing that we want to work on, is those planning. And another thing that I showed you on the RSI that I want you to pay attention to because of the power of it, remember we talked about trend line breaks on the RSI right there. Where'd that move happen, guys? Once it broke out of there. I cannot emphasize the power of trend lines. Go look at my Bitcoin video that I just did. I said Bitcoin went parabolic. We were looking at that purple trend line, and remember a couple days ago I was talking, if we break that trend line on significant volume, we can run really hard, really fast, and that's exactly what's happening. So I'm thrilled to see this, guys. Overall, the health of it, you know, this just buys us more time to continue this uptrend, higher highs and higher lows. We're in that intermediate term right now. Now, I know there's a lot of guys out there who do trade calls and different things. They are saying right now, take some profits. And I'm just putting that out there for you. I watch some people, you know, there's very few people who I trust out there, but of the ones I do trust, I've been watching, and they were pointing out, obviously, the 4-hour RSI, the 12-hour RSI, how we're really getting overextended. I think Bitcoin was at 86 on the 1-day RSI, guys. So that's pretty unsustainable. You can't just continue to keep pushing up and pushing up and pushing up before people start taking profits. So just be prepared today for some profit taking. You know, if all of a sudden we close down at 7% and we're up 13, don't look at that as a bad thing, guys. That's what happens. We need this progression, very much so. But, you know, if we step back and we take a look at this, guys, tell me how awesome this is to finally see this. Okay? So, what we're looking at here now, look at this chart. And you see how we were just pushed for so long, for months and months and months, and now you have that supply and demand shift right there. And that supply and demand shift, that was one of the biggest things. If you go back and look at a video I did, will Litecoin ever see $22 again? And I was telling you that I didn't believe it. It could happen. Still, it could happen. Anything can happen, guys. But I didn't believe that it would happen just due to all the support that we were building. We had the 20 as support. We had the 50 as support. We had the 100 as support. We had the 200 as support. Then we had that yellow uptrend that I've been following for quite a while now. And that is our intermediate term uptrend. And we haven't even back tested that yet. We've been so strong. So keep your eye on that. But the simple fact, guys, we were pinned under this 20 or this 200-day moving average for the longest time, and now we're finally up above it, and we're up above it strong, more so than any other coin. I mean, really look at the distance now. Bitcoin right now is up above it. We're going to wait for the close, but look how far up above we are. So we're at 68, and our 200-day moving average is around that $44. So we're really saving ourselves some struggle just due to that, because we have so much support off all these different moving average, and that we have an opportunity to get a nice bounce off those if we do start that retracement. And then also, guys, look at this volume. Do you see how the volume broke? So we were in a descending volume pattern. We put it about right there, and then there's that breakout of it. So now we're going to see if that is that swelling volume that we've been wanting to see, which is beyond important for the health of Litecoin. Whenever moves are going up, you want that swelling of the volume. All right. Then another thing I was going through, guys, I want to show you. This is just like part of the little tutorials that I'll do for you, but things that I've noticed and really been studying. So as we were falling down here, and we had this last fall, do you see how high a volume it was on? Typically, when you have those really high volumes, those falls like that, that's typically when you're going to have that reaction then. So that's just the climax of selling before professional traders will step in and then ride it to the upside before they'll then again get out. And that's just how the game works. Remember, scalpers are going to take their profits first, and then it's going to be your day traders, intraday traders, and then it's going to be your short-term traders, which I like to do a little more short-term trading, like 2 to 10 days, and then it's going to start being your swing traders, okay? But realize profits will be taken. It always happens, guys. It always happens. Litecoin was at $375 before, and it went down to $22. Remember, in this space, anything can happen. It is the Wild West. And what I'm going to look for today, most important thing, is a close up above this red line or below it, and then also this lower red line I'm paying extreme attention to. All right? So, guys, God bless each and every one of you. I just wanted to bring this to you quick. Some of the things that I was looking at, the whale stepped in, and, you know, we just got to got to continue to be happy that we are getting moved to the upside and hopefully digging ourselves out of this bear market. We want to get out of it, guys, so we can start moving up and start having some fun. But God bless you all. If you like what we do here, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll keep bringing them to you. Take care, my friends.